It's been a busy time for former Miss Universe Australia Laura Dundovic. The last time we caught up was during our Sky News Racing Dreams Magic Millions on the Gold Coast, and I'm happy to say Laura is in the studio with us. Of course, you're ambassador for Pacific Fair up there, and with Katie and Jerry. It's an amazing week, isn't it?
Oh, the best week. I think I'm still living off the excitement of it. It's just in Queensland, that time of year, the weather, the actual race days, it's wonderful.
And one of the great things about Magic Millions, and particularly the work of Katie Page, is the growth of women, not only in horse racing, but in sport.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's been a great pioneer for that. And I think that's the thing at the moment that's just so exciting, that we are living in that generation where women in sport is being so, you know, things like watching Ash Barty and how amazingly she's doing. Even 2 or 3 days ago, I ran into Kaya Simon from the
soccer team, yeah, absolutely.
And saw her, and I mean, she's kicking goals literally all over the world, which is incredible.
Did you have a go at the polo? Because you were there for the whole week.
I did. I got to go to the polo. It was my first time for the Magic Millions polo, which was really, really exciting. I've been to polo in a few other places. Didn't actually get to get out on the field that day, but it was really good. And
look, we've had a very difficult summer. We've had a difficult spring, Australia has, and we've seen a lot of wildlife perish in the bushfires. You've adopted a koala, a very positive story. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so working with Vmores, which I'll talk to you about in a little bit, we've actually found an amazing organisation called Save the Koala, and you can actually go and adopt a koala. And I get all teary when I talk about it, but reading up on all their little bios, I found this one named Jester, who's in Brisbane, so I spend a bit of time there obviously, so when I'm in Brisbane I'll get to go up and I can actually go and visit him. The reason I picked him is because Jester is very, very cheeky and loves affection. So I think if I was to be a koala, that would be me. And basically, yeah, you get to sponsor him. He's only $30 a month, and the money raised actually goes to helping his family and that sort of thing in the wild, which is just, you know, something small that you can do. But I think the fact that you can actually go and visit him as well is a great part of it. Yeah,
and it's a real positive story amidst a lot of the terrible news that have come out over the last few months.
Oh yeah, I mean, actually while I was up in Queensland for the Magic Millions, I went to Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, which is actually one of the busiest wildlife hospitals in the world, and went and saw some of the animals there and some of the koalas from the fire, and it was devastating. I mean, I think you see a small part of it from what was covered on the news, etc., but it's just, you know, some of these koalas, I mean, the ones that I was seeing had been, you know, rescued from the fires, and I think beginning of November. And, you know, still traumatic injuries, still, it's just so devastating.
One of the great things that have, as many things have come out of your role as Miss Universe Australia, but it's been this opportunity to have a voice, and you and your partner, Quade Cooper, of course, many sporting fans will know that famous name, what a talented rugby player he is. The 300 Blankets charity, you also got involved with that.
Yeah, so that was living in Melbourne last year. It was basically went around Melbourne, and the way that the charity started, which I thought was amazing, was they worked out at the time, I think it was 300 blankets they would need for everyone on the streets in Melbourne to have a blanket. So they raised enough money from that, but then went on from that. And now basically walk around and just provide supplies, blankets, little bits and pieces, food that those people living on the streets might need. But this company's actually built up a relationship with all of these people. So it was actually really lovely to just spend the night going around, sitting down, having a chat to them, and sort of finding out, you know, a bit about their life story and connecting with them. And I guess it's a great way of watching and seeing what they need. And so then, since obviously coming back to Sydney now, I've just literally passed my police check and my check with children for a group called Stepping Stones House. So I'm going to be doing some work with them to help with children that are disadvantaged and homeless and come through juvenile detention and things like that. So that'll be interesting as well.
Keep you nice and busy, and great initiatives, of course. Now, let's get on to what's in front of you, because as life goes on, and as a fan of the Jetsons as a boy and the life that they lived in the future, this is a bit of the Jetsons.
It's a little bit of a Jetson moment, isn't it?
Tell us about it.
So basically, the world of freeze-dry food has taken the US by storm. So I think in the first year, it raised about $40 billion, And so from that, we now have an Australian first, which is also a first in the beauty space here. So it is freeze-dried supplements. So I can see your eyes lighting up when I hold up this one. So Vmores...
Because NASA astronauts have this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so Vmores have basically done, I think, over 1,000 product trials. It was 3 years in the making. This here's called a hair, skin and nails product called Snap. They've got a probiotic here, Dash, and then Max multivitamin. And basically, yeah, this was created off the same sort of freeze-dried technology that was used to create the food for the astronauts in NASA. So the way that they do it, they take out the moisture. It locks in about 95 to 100% of those active ingredients in there, and it means that the products have a really, really long shelf life.
Okay.
And the great thing as well about Vmores is that they don't need to be refrigerated. So I do a lot of travel, and I've had a few health issues recently, so my probiotic is really, really important to me. But the hard thing with that is with traditional probiotics, if you don't keep them in the fridge, they lose a lot of those active ingredients. So now with this, I can pop this in my handbag. I actually took it in the car on the way here, which is lovely.
And away you go.
Yes.
All right, we'll have to get my friends onto that as well. But thanks for coming in, Laura, and congratulations on all your initiatives. And it's great to see someone like you using that prominence and that profile in such a world helping others.
Thank you.